Hello and welcome to the Helios Blog. My name is Helios. Today we're going to talk about how sex equals tension plus logistics. Many men have no idea what actually gets them laid. They think they just got lucky. Sex is not about luck at all. It's about the following two things: tension and logistics. If you know how to build tension and you know how to set up good logistics, you will get laid. Let me show you how it's done. Enjoying my content? Check out my blog at heliosblog.com. On YouTube, you can support me by liking and subscribing. I'm also on Spotify if you'd prefer a podcast. If you're interested in my books, The Strategist Guide to Seduction and Quotes to Live By, they're available on Amazon. In addition, you can follow me on Patreon at theheliosblog for exclusive content. On with the show. Why does tension and logistics lead to sex? Tension is what makes two people sexually attracted to each other. Tension creates an inherent discomfort that needs to be resolved. The discomfort that gets released in the process of sex brings the two people closer together. Of course, if the girl doesn't feel safe with you and with the location you're in, sex will not occur even if there is amazing tension. If she does feel safe, however, tension is very likely to lead to sex. It's vitally important that you master both the art of creating tension and the art of setting up the environment so that it maximizes your chances of getting laid. Creating tension. Tension can be created in a variety of ways. Here's a list. Number 1, teasing. Teasing creates tension because it creates a playful, argumentative atmosphere. She sees you as someone who's willing to challenge her, and that's attractive. Number 2, staring. She feels that you're sexually attracted to her, but you haven't said anything. She wants to see if you're worthy. Number 3, passing shit tests. You're sending signals that you're a dominant alpha man. It's very attractive and intriguing. Number 4, dancing. You're good at leading her and touching her. She wonders if this skill is transferable. Number 5, answering questions in unusual ways. You aren't a typical beta, NPC or slave. You have a brain that thinks differently and it's intriguing. Number 6, physical closeness without intimate touch. She feels your masculine essence close to her and it piques her interest. Number 7, casually brushing against each other. She feels your power near her and is intrigued. Number 8, argument with her or someone else. She knows you're not a pushover. You're willing to stand up for yourself. Number 9, physical confrontation with her or someone else. She knows that she can't dominate you physically. You could easily hurt someone else who's threatening. Number 10, talking about sex. You're likely sexually experienced. What other girls have experienced you? Number 11, dread. She knows for sure you have other women. What if they poach you? Number 12, fear of loss. What if she never sees you again? What will she have lost? Number 13, cheating. What if the new girl steals you away? Were you a stud after all? If you do one or more of these things with women, you'll undoubtedly create tension that can be resolved through sex. The meaning of good logistics. If you're in a place with good logistics, it means that there's a very, very low probability that you can be interrupted or found during sex. The girl is very unlikely to be seen as a slut from other people in those environments. Remember that women care about their reputations much more than men. You want to have a place set up where you can easily have sex without interruption or the fear that you'll be found by one of her friends. Here are some examples of places that are great logistics-wise. Number 1, a secluded trail or park. Number 2, your car, parked somewhere remote. Number 3, your apartment, especially if there's no roommates. Number 4, your house, especially if you don't live with your parents. If you can create a lot of tension and you're in one of those places, initiating anything sexual is very likely to lead to sex. I hope I don't need to explain the mechanics of sex to you. If you're on a trail or in a park, you need a comfortable, non-wet, flat surface and something to lie on. For the other places, you need a couch or bed, something you can comfortably have sex on for the benefit of your knees. Good ideas for dates. You never want to take girls on dates that are unlikely to lead to sex. This means that you should never take girls to movies, dinner, etc. This is triply true if you're at the beginning of a relationship. As I've mentioned in other articles, you should try to have sex with a girl on the second date. The first date is for comfort or rapport. The second date is for sex. This means that logistically, for the first date, you need a place where it's easy to build comfort or rapport without signaling that you're a beta or NPC. Here are good logistical locations for first dates. Number 1, coffee shop. Number 2, casual bar. Number 3, mall. Number 4, park. You never want to spend more than $10 on your first date. Remember, you don't want to signal that you're a beta or NPC. For the second date, you need a place where it's easy to have sex once you've built tension. Here's a list of great places for second dates and beyond. Number 1, a secluded park, you drive it there. Number 2, your apartment. Number 3, your house. Never take a girl on a date where the logistics to have sex are not set up. If you don't have the logistics for sex, it's your fault that sex didn't happen. Plan with the end goal in mind. Comfort does not get you laid. Talking incessantly on dates is not going to get you laid. If the girl is super comfortable with you, you're going to be put in the beta, NPC or slave zone and you're done. Comfort does not get you laid. In fact, you want comfort to be at 20% while tension is at 80%, especially at the beginning of a relationship. Do not set up dates where building comfort is the only thing you can do. Exception. For the first date, you're allowed a comfort building environment, but it must be casual, no date dates. Also, for your first date, you want to talk 15 minutes out of the hour you've allotted to spend with her. Here are places you should never take a girl on a date, especially early on in your relationship before you've had sex at least 10 times. Number 1, dinner. Number 2, movie. Number 3, fancy restaurant. Number 4, themed dates such as hiking, rock climbing, mountain biking, etc. If you build comfort before sex, you're going backwards. You want sex, right? Bad logistics equals no sex, even if there is tension. Many men go home with a dick in their hands because they had terrible logistics. Even if there is amazing tension, if you have no way to capitalize on it, the tension is useless. There is something even worse. If you build tension with a girl that gets us sexually excited and you don't even try to have sex with her, you'll be immediately beta zoned. This is how you get guys at parties that think it's going so well with a girl and they never respond later. They didn't capitalize on the opportunity to get laid and got relegated to the beta zone, where they rightfully belong. Where do I go for sex? When do I go for sex? You go for sex starting on the second date. You have one rapport date, lasting around an hour, where you talk for 15 minutes, directing the conversation towards her interests. You follow that with a date, where you invite the girl to your place for some plausibly deniable activity. Come see my new place, let's watch Netflix, etc. And you go for sex then. Once you've had sex once, you need to have sex a second time to achieve a stable sex state. You can then cruise doing the friends with benefits thing for around 3 months before she'll want to define the relationship, and you can decide the direction the interaction goes at that point. Simple in concept, difficult in reality. A lot of you will read what I've written here and think it's simple. In concept, it is simple, but it requires a solid framework of game that requires a lot of practice. Do not be discouraged if you fuck up a bunch of times. That is normal. Try, fail, and try again. You'll succeed eventually. Let me repeat it again. Sex is tension plus logistics. Conclusion. 3 more times. Sex is tension plus logistics. Sex is tension plus logistics. Sex is tension plus logistics. Remember that. You cannot have sex without both. Practice both and you will succeed. Persevere.